Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in cause it's showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, food, rhyme, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blur Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I am your host, Phoop, joined by my two co-hosts, Ryun and Antoine, and we are here to bring you our TV and movie recap episode. As you guys know, we went on a bit of a lengthy hiatus in March 2025 and recently just came back bringing you guys this great content towards the end of July. So we missed a lot of shit. We just did the anime episode, so if you want to see our full thoughts on the spring 2025 season, the summer 2025 season, and everything that's coming up, make sure you check out that video. But today we're going to be doing movies and TV shows. We're going to start with movies that have already been released, as well as TV shows that have already been released. Then we'll go into ongoing content. And then we're going to tell you guys what we're looking forward to as the year goes along. You know, our usual recommendation shit. So going down the list of released movies, we have Jurassic World Rebirth, F1 the movie, K-pop Demon Hunters, How to Train Your Dragon the live action, Ballerina the John Wick spinoff, Mission Impossible the Final Reckoning, Final Destination Bloodlines, Thunderbolts, Sinners, Lilo and Stitch the live action, A Working Man, and then Weapons that just recently got released. We're skipping over Superman and Fantastic Four because we've already done full mob reviews for both of those movies. So make sure you check those out and hear our thoughts. But with this, given this list of movies, because this was pretty lengthy, we missed a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I kind of maybe do we want to start in release order?
I was going to say, if aside from you announcing Weapons last, that's the most recent of these. You want to start at the oldest and work our way up?
That's what I was thinking. So we would have to start with Sinners, right? Because Sinners came out in April.
Oh, A Working Man and Lilo Stitch came out after that?
Lilo and Stitch came out in May.
Okay, then we can start with Sinners. So
let's start with Sinners. Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, Haley Steinfeld. And what's my girl name from Lovecraft Country and Loki?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
hard
talking about.
To say something about Sinners that people ain't already said.
Saku. Yeah.
Which one was that? The girl who was over there hunching on the...
Hunching?
Who's the one? Who's the girl, the pretty little girl that was hunching on the stage and getting her musty coochie?
Not her.
Not that hunching. She was hunching with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay. Hunch. Okay. Not the one she on her
So
husband
hunching,
and hunching.
but the wrong hunching.
Different hunching.
Oh
hunching with no
God.
foreplay over the
Everybody
counter.
hunching.
Like, oh my gosh, our dead baby, and then they start hunching. Okay.
Oh.
You're right. It was a lot of hunching.
It was. That was a very sexually charged movie.
Very sexually charged.
But now that I think about it, like horror movies like that, vampire movies are sexually charged. Like Twilight, like when they got to when whatchamacallit and when Bella and Edward got married, they was going at it. Like they went to the honeymoon and got down.
Yeah,
I mean, you started it.
I remember when they were trying to protect Bella from them folks, and Jake was like, "I can keep her warm. Your cold vampire body can't do it." And he's like,
all I am saying is that vampire movies. All I was saying that vampire movies be sexually charged. That's all I was trying to say.
Okay.
But you let us there talking about hunching.
The two beautiful dark skinned women in the movie were hunching.
You didn't want to say the black beautiful queen that was hanging out with the little cousin that was singing.
They were both black and beautiful.
You went straight to hunching.
They were both hunching. They got a whole lot of similarities. They're very similar to one another.
Okay, here we go. So
okay.
So our real thoughts. What's our real thoughts?
Okay. I will say this because at this point the hype has died down. Like y'all, it's been months since Sinners dropped. It was still a monumental movie.
I enjoyed it.
Like very top tier. Like you know what's funny? there's two approaches outside of this being a blackety black movie and black people being able to come together and enjoy a property the same way we did, I guess, with Black Panther. Like, for this to be the first time we've done it since like Black Panther, it was amazing for the culture. But even outside of that, the influences it took from another movie, the way it integrated music into it, even the acting was top tier. The
Acting was
singing
good.
was top tier. Like, Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, at this point, they are the best duo, one of the best duos in Hollywood.
Yeah.
The music was great in that
The
movie. As a person that grew
yeah.
up with a lot of blues, when my mom listened to a lot of blues, the music was
Mm-hmm.
great in that
I
movie.
love
It
the
really set
scene,
the tone.
and I love how the music was used throughout the film. I think one of my favorite scenes from Sinners is what's his name? Delta Slim, when they picked him up and they were
Yeah.
driving to the juke joint, and he was telling the story about his friend and the fact that when it got to like a really painful part of the story where he just started humming, and
Yeah.
it's like as Black Americans, how we use music to express ourselves, or how we use it to portray emotions that we can't speak out in words.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of people like on social media and things like talking about like, how do you guys listen to music every day? And I was like, well, music is a form of expression. I listen to different types of music based on how I'm feeling. When it's certain
Yeah.
things that I can't put into words, I try to channel it through songs and songs that have words that have like similar type messages and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And
Yeah.
then if we want to go to the scene where Sammy sings his song and how it transcends through like the different generations, and how it
Yeah.
shows how the different ways we started express how, even though how music evolved, we were still expressing ourselves through it. I
That
thought
was
it
a
was
great
dope.
Yeah.
scene right there. The way they
Mhm.
incorporated that, they had the folks with the long white tees on. I was like, they cutting up in this
And
juke
Yeah.
joint.
the girl was twerking in the back. I said, "Uh
Yeah.
oh."
And
That's when it
and it did a
really got good.
And when it comes to music theory and how like music evolved and how all these new genres are just slowly being created, like black folks really led the way in that, and I don't think anybody really argues against that too much. But it's like that scene really like put in a perspective. Look at how music evolved over time, and we still hear some of that old music, but it still
I was
pays a
just
huge influence over modern day music.
about to bring that up. As even though we were seeing different generations or different genres of music, all of it still meshed together. Like
Yeah.
even though we were getting these different, like we were getting like the African, and then they were doing like the beatboxing, like Grandmaster Flex, and then we get into the
Hmm.
modern with all the like the rap and the hip hop and stuff. It all still mesh together very well.
I
Right.
think I think one of the biggest messages that really resonated with me in that movie that I love. Well, I wouldn't say resonate with me, but I love was how they couldn't let the vampires in. Well, the vampires couldn't come in until somebody let them in. They could The evil can't come in unless you allow it in. I think that was a
Yeah.
great way that they like showed that on the screen.
Well, I guess that's vampire lore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's just vampire lore. Like vampires can't come in unless you let them in. But I see how you spunk that.
I will say, even with the vampire lore, as a fan of fantasy, some people forget some old vampire lore. Like there's like if you look at phases in movies, like with our 2000s teenage movies, Hunger Games, Twilight era, there was a phase where vampires and werewolves as a subgenre was really big. And it's been
Hmm.
kind of dead for a minute. It's been mostly like high fantasy dragons and stuff, even in the book scene and everything else. So like going back to vampires and doing it in this way, the little hive mind stuff, them chewing on the garlic and all of that. I was like, it's almost as if you're
Yeah, really
reminding
taking it
me
back to the
of two
classics.
decades ago. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
felt more of that. Is it the Underworld movies where
Underworld is more accurate than Twilight. Yeah.
where they do the vampires and stuff? Because that's what Sinners felt to me. Like
Hmm.
if I was to put two vampire movies side by side, this would they would go, and then
Yeah.
Twilight would be like, this is if we want to kiss
Yeah.
vampires in the mouth.
It was
Exactly. They
kind of like
glisten
a
in the
breath of fresh
sun.
air.
Yeah.
It was like a breath of fresh air to see a movie like that in this day and age, a vampire movie. Because, like Ryan just said, we haven't seen something like. I personally haven't seen something on that
It's been a
scale
while.
that's that
It's
good,
been a
and
minute.
especially that ties in black people the way that it did. That was that good. It's been a while, so that
I
was
feel
Blade.
I was
Blade, vampires and
I
black folks. Blade.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say, like,
Wesley Snipes.
we were anticipating that our next black vampire film was going to be MCU's Blade,
Mhm.
exactly.
and then Blade, that whole fiasco that's going on, and then Ryan Coogler's like, "Yeah, I'm making a black vampire film."
Exactly.
Nice.
And
So then it's like, okay,
sometimes I
Yeah.
also like to top on it, like the three of us, well, our whole group being from like Mississippi. I, as a Mississippian, I like the heritage they play. Like it was in
oh
Clarksdale,
yeah,
wasn't it? Clarksdale,
they're in
Mississippi.
Clarksdale,
Clarksdale,
Mississippi.
I,
Mississippi.
and like we can tell anybody. I got family in the Delta. There are parts of Mississippi that still look like that. And I
Yeah,
was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is like very accurate. The accents, I talked to one of my best friends who's also from Mississippi. She was like, they don't sound as Mississippi, but I'm like, they're trying to capture the time period. And also Smokey and him, Michael B. Jordan's two characters, they also were in Chicago for a minute. And Chicago's
yeah,
just Mississippi with suits, so their accents do change a little bit. But I was like, they really captured that vibe. Even the history of Mississippi and how
and
there's like this.
even like the
Mm-hmm.
hoodoo stuff. Like if you want,
Yeah.
like even we're talking about like Jim Crow era. We're talking about like hoodoo and voodoo. We're talking and the Asian couple that was there. We're talking about ethnicities outside of black and white and how they were like uh establishing themselves. Like they had the two stores, one for the black folks, one for the white folks, and things like that.
Yeah. And some people don't know there is like I don't want to say strong, but because I guess strong would be like 10% or higher or something. But there is an Asian presence in a part of Mississippi, especially in the Delta region, where yeah, they came in, they was running these businesses. They were probably the only folks willing to sell to blacks historically, and some of those folks, their families are still there. Like
Mhm.
some people only think about like say the Asians who migrated to like the West Coast, but there was a lot who migrated to Mississippi, and they have those Southern accents, and they're around. I'm friends with once a Vietnamese family from out there, so I think it was interesting that they really showed that heritage that people don't really see when it comes to Mississippi.
Yeah, you could
Mhm.
definitely tell that Ryan Coogler and everybody who worked on this movie, from costume to production to writing the
Mm-hmm.
script, they really did their research on putting this together.
Exactly. Still a great movie. I don't
It's a
think it
good
lived on
movie.
hype. I think it was monumental. It was
Yeah.
I've,
monumental.
I've watched it twice now. Once in the theaters and once at home when it finally released on digital. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
on Max.
Mhm.
It's on Max?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
HBO Max now is switched back. They switched the branding after switching
I
it.
don't keep up with them
Listen, look,
no
Yeah.
they do what they want. I know it was on digital. I just didn't know it dropped on streaming because when they say it drop on digital, that means buy or rent. And then
Exactly.
it's
Like
like
on Amazon.
then you gotta wait for
more.
the next announcement to be like, oh, now it's on streaming service.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So let's get into May. And May was jam packed because we had Thunderbolts, Final Destination, Lilo and Stitch. When did Ballerina come out? Did Ballerina come out in May or June?
I feel like that was in June. It had to
I
be in
feel like it was later
June.
than everything you named. Shoot. Let me click on the
Because we
IMDb link. Does it
watched,
That
tell
was
it?
June. That was the
it
beginning of
was June
Yeah.
June.
because this when
So
you came
let's
here, yeah.
step into May. So that's Thunderbolts, Final Destination, Bloodlines, Lilo and Stitch live action, and I want to say Mission Impossible as well.
I
So
missed Lilo and Stitch. I did miss Lilo and Stitch. I meant to
I
go
missed,
see it, but I had too much in May going on.
I
I
saw
haven't watched
Lilo.
that either.
I saw Lilo and Stitch, and it was solid. I definitely like the animated one better,
Of
but as
course.
far as Disney live actions goes, this wasn't a bad adaptation. Now, I do have some nitpicky complaints. Pleakley didn't have that motherfucking
I
bob,
was just about to say that. I remember you talking about that Pleaky and that Bob.
and
Mm-hmm.
I already told y'all how I felt about Pleakley having that motherfucking bob.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's a complaint. That
Yeah.
you get a demerit, you get a ticket.
Demerit.
And I found it weird how they took out Captain Gantu, the big swole alien that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
looking for Stitch.
I heard about that.
He wasn't in the movie. They made Jumba the villain. And it was like, Jumbo was more like chaotic neutral. Like, yes, he was
Hmm.
trying to catch Stitch, but he wasn't like
The big villain, the main.
harming anybody else trying to do
Yeah.
that. That was
Hmm.
Gantu when Gantu dropped down and kidnapped Lilo and was doing all that stuff. So I found it a bit weird that they took Gantu out and
I wonder,
made Jumba the main villain instead of just letting him be that curious scientist that just happened to make an indestructible, super strong ass alien.
So
I
they took
wonder
up quite a
if
few
they,
creative freedoms.
yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder
but
if they like tried to put him in and it just didn't look good. They like maybe like we tried to go this route and it's not looking good, so they just took it out and went a different route
I guess I would have to ask you, what do you mean by not looking good? Like, do you think
because.
they tried to make Gantu in CGI and he looked
Hmm.
weird?
And then maybe it just looked weird or something.
But they had everybody else in
That's
there.
yeah. Mm.
Weren't they like transformed into humans or something instead of actually wearing the wig?
So
Yeah.
yes, Jumba and Pleakley, when they get on Earth, they use some device to transform themselves into humans at some resort in Hawaii.
Okay,
But
so
they did show their alien forms for both of them, and they showed the alien form of the lady who was over that intergalactic federation thing, and all the
right.
aliens who were on that ship when Stitch escaped. So I don't know why they didn't
Yeah.
put Gantu. Most it as a whole, it's pretty much 1-to-1,
Gotcha.
except for they added in this additional character that was helping Nani take care of Lilo, to make it seem like she wasn't doing all of it by herself, and then they
Can
took
I
out the Gantu piece.
can I be a little mannish real quick? Did Nani have them thighs on her? Like was she thick? Like
Nani
three
Nani
C's?
Nani was not thick. I'm sorry. Nani was
She
not thick.
wasn't.
People were
Okay,
upset
then
about that.
that's too many creative freedoms.
Ron
Nani
said
was
that's not 1-to-1.
They didn't stick to the story. They didn't stick to the story.
not
That's 50% of the plot right there.
not Nani being thick is 50% of the
I'm glad
plot.
I didn't support. I'm glad I didn't watch it.
That's
What?
so
50%
crazy.
is
Nani
crazy.
wasn't thick.
Ron,
Nani
we
stars.
stop. Ron, we did the trailer reaction. You saw that Nani wasn't thick.
Maybe I was blinded.
I don't know what you would have been
Nani's
blinded by because they showed that lady in the trailer and she was not thick.
Nani Styles was as thick as that surfboard she was sitting on. What you mean she ain't thick in the movie?
Or maybe they
Listen,
couldn't find the
maybe they
actress to
just
fit the
couldn't
part.
find.
Hey man, Hawaii got some thick Hawaiians. Man, 0 out of 10. Don't let
All
me
right.
rate
All
her.
right.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next thing. I know you two saw Final Destination Bloodlines. I've heard mixed reviews about it, but how did you guys feel about it as a whole?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, I think overall the movie was good. It definitely gave the Destination vibes that it was supposed to give. It had some very gruesome deaths. I don't
Now I've
remember
been
if
seeing
anybody,
the video of the little boy running out the building. They dropped the piano on him.
everybody was
Yeah.
very excited for that moment. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's like the main thing. I think the story was good. They kind of wrapped it up in the end with the same kind of trauma that we all got from Final Destination 1. And I was like, oh, okay, okay, I got it. The only gripe that I had about the movie was sometimes the CGI just looked pretty noticeable to me. But I was like, I guess can't help it in some places,
I mean,
but
it's that campy. Final Destination is always that campy type horror thing that you can't really get mad if the CGI looks weird.
yeah, yeah, I wasn't mad at it. Yeah.
Okay. I I don't remember disliking the CGI, but what I can highlight, I really feel like they did a great job subverting my expectations because I rewatched all the Final Destination movies in order before this, and there were like 3 moments specifically. I'm like, oh, they about to die. They about to die. They about to die. They ain't die. Oh, that's how they killed him. Like that happened at least 3 times. And you know, such Final Destination is that shock jump scare type of horror.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to get that out of me, you did your job.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
the plot, I didn't expect the story to connect as well as it did because when I watched all the Final Destinations in order, I was like, oh, now I'm really seeing the plot. The way they tied old buddy, who I thought was always the Grim Reaper, the black guy,
To my
into like,
dad.
oh, yeah, into him being basically like the original person saved from death, and all these people are death's descendants. Like the way they really integrated that gave me
Mm-hmm.
bonus points for like, oh, creating Final Destination lore and story. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the actual last movie, and I was like, that was an amazing way to end it. But I heard they're making another one.
Yeah, they said they're making another one.
Now that's unnecessary to me. I feel like
Well, I kind of feel like, honestly, if they didn't connect them, if they didn't connect Final Destination to each other, I honestly feel like you could just keep making Final Destinations. Like you could keep coming up with the worst scenarios.
You can.
but it's like, unless it's like in like the timeline, because like the way that, because you didn't watch it, Food.
Nah.
Like the way they connected it, you know how like in the first one you see the kids die on the airplane, or was that like number 3? I can't remember.
That was
But
one.
like, they die in the airplane. Then you go to the other movies, and there's always this person who sees visions from death, and they're like, "Oh, I done research, and now I see how those folks died in the airplane. This has happened before," and they keep on connecting it. In this movie, it shows where the cycle first started, and then it goes into like the last couple of people who are about to end it. So it's like, unless you do a movie that takes place in between, like say 5 and number 1, 5 and really like 4, but based on like chronological order, I don't see how you're going to make it work.
I guess I agree with you. I guess I was saying if they didn't make them interconnected, you could keep,
it didn't really need a plot, like a thick
That's what
plot.
I'm saying.
Okay,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
get
If
what
they
you're saying,
didn't, if they didn't make the Final Destinations interconnected, you could keep making
Just
Final
making
Destinations.
movies.
If it's just a new group of people in a new scenario, and
Time
that's
waits
just
to die.
like, yep, got them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you went into this movie knowing what to expect from Final Destination, just jump scares, splatter, gruesome deaths, you like Mortal Kombat fatalities, and that gets you going,
It's a
you're going to
movie
enjoy
of
this movie.
fatalities. That's
That's all, brutalities and fatalities.
Yeah.
That's it.
How can we make the worst brutality? Yeah, it's that's what it is.
Like
what a
even the
story.
promo art. Even a promo art when Buddy was hanging from his piercing and stuff, I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to that scene. I can't wait to see that scene. Just for that scene to not be the way they died, I was like, oh, you got me. How does this dude die?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now you
Because
know.
we watched the trailer and we were like, oh, he's done. Like this is it.
They really subvert your expectations, and that's what I appreciated. Because after you watch a few, you know what to expect.
So basically, they edged you guys, and then it was like,
Yeah.
wait, and then they did the
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah.
And then they did the thing.
Then they did the thing.
No, we ain't
every
forget about
time.
them. We ain't forget.
Okay. I do want to go backwards to March right quick. Apparently, The Working Man came out in March, Ron. So did you? I know you saw that.
Okay, A Working Man, small sleeper hit. Not the best movie ever, but you know, Jason Statham is starting to become like a star in the action arena. Like he also did that Beekeeper movie. I thought these movies were connected because they're kind of similar, but it turns out the plot isn't. The stories aren't connected. They're just similar in plot. It was a solid action movie. If you want some action,
that's what I was about to ask. Like, isn't that it? It was like every movie that I see him in has like the same plot.
And honestly,
he's normal, and then something happens, and then it clicks in his head. It's like, oh, I'm an ex-Marine, ex-Army. I'm gonna get you.
Yep, and same in this one. Like, I'm basically this special realm of fighter. I come in, I'm trying to save somebody I'm cool with, and I get it done with cool action, cool shootouts. My hits on kind of dry, aggressive European humor. I don't know how to describe it in the way that he talks shit to people. It was there. It was there.
Okay.
But it was solid. Like, I was like, I don't mind Jason Statham. I enjoyed Beekeeper. I enjoyed this one. I don't feel like they are just as high as, say, the current John Wick action movies. I don't feel like nobody's really beating John Wick right now. But it's there for if you want to watch a nice little action movie on the side.
Okay. And now let's fast forward back to May, and let's talk about let's get into Thunderbolts. So this is the MCU film that we did not do a official mob review and score sheets for. I don't want Ryan to start because I already know.
I smiled. I don't believe in killing black boy, black girl joy. I'm not built around that.
I like Thunderbolts. I thought it was pretty good. I was excited to see Yelena again. That's currently one of my favorite characters post in game. I did like I guess the take on creating another uh super, because we keep going through this thing of like everybody's trying to create the next Captain America. Um, I don't like the fact that they keep disregarding Sam, but that's another conversation. But like everybody's trying to get recreate the serum, and then you got Bucky who got the serum and became Winter Soldier. You got Red Guardian who got the serum, but he's working for the Soviet Union, and then what's his face gets the serum, but he's an asshole. And then now we give Bob the serum, and he turns into the damn void and starts putting people in trauma boxes.
Yeah.
So
So
that was I found that interesting, like how we keep trying to recreate this Captain America super serum. Who's the next big super, and we keep failing. I also like the twist. One thing about Valentina though, and I'll give her this, because at the end of that movie, I was like, yeah, you're done. You're finna get arrested. And when she pulled that move and she was like, these are the
oh
new
yeah.
Avengers, I
When
was
she had
like,
them news reporters standing
I was
there,
like, you I
she
was like,
got
you
them
ate that.
good with
Yeah,
that.
she
She got
got them
them.
good. I was like, you ate that one thing, Valentina. Cause that was nuts. And then we get into the end credit scene, and we talked a little bit about this on the Fantastic Four mob review about how now they're the new Avengers. The public ain't fucking with them. Sam and Bucky got beef, but they're the first to detect that the Fantastic Four has entered the universe. I did find some things weird with the movie. Like after I sat for it for a while, because I was like, why is Bucky a congressman? Like who approved that? And then
I thought
and
maybe
then
I missed something with that part, and I was like, maybe I.
so in
I was like,
Cap
yeah, I
so
thought I missed something.
So in Captain America, Brave New World, he's campaigning to be on Congress. And then when we get to Thunderbolts, he's a congressman. But my thing is though, so I understand that Bucky is from the United States, but this man is like the Winter Soldier. Like this man has been working for like Hydra and worse
hmm
for this whole
hmm
time. And I also just find it weird that after coming off of Falcon and the Winter Soldier that you want to be a congressman. I found that weird. And then
Yeah.
also you can just up and quit being a congressman. Like he became the new Avenger, and then the next scene he got on the suit and stuff, and I was like, okay, so fuck
It's enough of that.
Washington
It's
D.C.
enough of that congressman shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a weird part to throw in. Yeah, I was kind of confused on that.
Um,
But
I seen a lot of people mad about Taskmaster too. Honestly, I'm not mad at it, but I also feel like we could have did more. She could have stayed. They didn't have, because coming off of Black Widow, her how she became Taskmaster was interesting to me, and the fact that they were bringing her back and her and Yelena both being in the red room, I was like, okay, we're probably going to do something right here with them processing everything they went through, processing the fact that Natasha's gone, and them both working for Valentina and still doing the shadow op stuff. And where do we go from there? They took my girl out in the first 5 minutes of the movie. I was like, damn,
mhm,
well, fuck, she was on the promo for.
that's because
She on the cup. She on my popcorn bucket. She on the cup.
just
She
to
didn't
throw
even
people off, I guess, not to give them too much.
she didn't even
That
make
was
it out
the
the first act of the movie. You didn't even have
that
to
was the
see
one
that
with the mask
promo.
on, right? Who got shot in the beginning? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, she on popcorn buckets and cups and posters and shit. And it's like, you didn't make it past the first act, baby girl.
hmm
Yeah.
I,
I think the movie was solid though. It wasn't like something like I was just like super excited for. Oh, this was really good. I'm gonna go back and watch this. Nothing like that. I wanted more out of it. I think I wanted to be on the edge of my seat a bit more. Um, we get the villain. He, the villain of the movie kind of was Bob, and I guess I just wanted more out of
I
that.
I
I,
agree. I
especially the way it was hyped up in the trailers and stuff. And yes, he did the things, trap like you said, trapping people in the trauma box and stuff like that. But I don't know. I never.
it,
I guess I wanted them to stay uh iffy. I Even though they are the new Avengers and Valentina did that one thing, I really wanted them to stay like gray area characters. Because now they're moving into this, oh, we're trying to be heroes whole thing. And I thought this was going to be kind of like a Suicide Squad thing to like, yes, we do good things, but at the end of the day, we're still like bad people. Like we're in a little gray area.
I
Mhm.
will say that kind of played a huge role in my disappointment with the movie. Cause like aside from the villain just being defeated so quick, even though this seems like a world-ending villain and power friendship being really big, I like Yelena's character. Out of all the characters, she stuck out the most to me, and she did seem kind of great, especially for the first two acts of the movie. But then I was like, over time, oh, this is a boy band of folks who like slowly become heroes. Like now it's just becoming a typical MCU film in my eyes. I was expecting something along the lines of Suicide Squad where we really finna see them do some ignorant shit. Like it's not that oh Bucky has a small conversation with you and now y'all want to be heroes too. I'm thinking y'all finna be like I know
That's I honestly, and I would have liked to see that. I honestly would like to see that more than what we got. I don't dislike, I don't hate what we got, but I think I wanted them to push the edge a bit more because these like Yelena is an assassin. Um, what is his name? The asshole, Dime Store Captain America. What's his name?
I just know
Mhm.
asshole.
I forget his name.
Ah,
The one
Elaine
whose shield got turned into a taco.
yeah, the one that got turned, his shit got turned into a taco.
John
Uh,
Walker.
John Walker, Ghost, who was already a villain in Ant Man and the Wasp.
I thought her
Has,
superpower was cool. I forgot she was from Ant Man.
I mean, yeah, her phasing powers are legit. Like all of
Yeah.
them, like working in Shadow Ops. I like Ryan said, I would have liked them to see them do a bit more ignorant shit. Like if we can get Deadpool and Wolverine in the MCU and they let Ryan Reynolds and Wolverine do all of that shit, we could have got a super Suicide Squad esque movie for Thunderbolts.
And without me being a hater, but that is a great point. A lot of people before Deadpool and Wolverine was like Disney's family friendly business plan. They're not finna go with this. They're not finna do this justice. And Deadpool and Wolverine really had that vibe of the original Deadpools when it comes to the satire, the raunchiness, the gruesomeness. And I was like, it seems like this movie could have gotten there, like you shot someone in the head in the first act. I'm like, okay, I don't know much
Yeah,
about this, but you kind of got my attention. And then after that, it transitioned to your usual MCU formula.
I
And
think
that,
I think Thunderbolt should have been rated R, and maybe they could have did a little bit more. And I think they still could have found a way to tie them into the Avengers Doomsday plot without making them the new Avengers, without making them an Avengers team.
That's a good point because I remember when you first started talking to me about this movie, and I don't remember if you used the word horror, but like maybe you were saying something about that it was gonna have like scary elements in it or something like that, or maybe you were just saying it to be funny. But that kind of got me excited. I was like, because I was thinking about the villain and what he was doing to these people and the stuff that
mm-hmm.
we might have gotten out of the movie. I was like, that would have been a really different take for a Marvel movie, and I think I would have been excited to see something like that, something different. Like Ryan is saying, it's probably gonna flow
Like
into
if
the
they really,
usual MCU pattern, and yeah,
Yeah,
if they really like push the edge of it, like the
hmm
the movie could have been rated R, like real shit.
yeah. Because the power of friendship and talk no jutsu did become like what saved the day. And I get it. There has to be a good messaging in these films. But I'm like, I really expected y'all to like switch the formula up with this one. Like, because Phoop was saying, like, oh, I'm excited for Thunderbolts. I'm excited for Thunderbolts. And I was like,
hmm
okay, is this going to be the MCU film that makes me go, I appreciate the MCU again? And all I got was like therapy, power, friendship, and Yelena was cool.
That's fair. I know a few more people who did not enjoy Thunderbolts. I liked it for what it was, but my initial thoughts, I thought this was going to be like the MCU Suicide Squad thing. And
Hmm.
I truly believe that we could have still had them as a team and push this Avenger Doomsday plot forward without labeling them the Avengers or having them be this hero group.
Yeah. And instead, it just became like this ragtag hero group, and it's like, oh, they're not your traditional heroes, but at least let us see that transitionary phase for
What
another movie or two or something.
or just don't do it. Just let us go into Avengers Doomsday. Like
That too. That
because
too.
now that they're labeled Avengers, this that label prohibits them from doing certain things that they could have did had they not had the label. Like
Exactly.
now they just can't come up here and blink blink bam pop 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 every time they show up somewhere.
Bling bling blam. Pop pop pop. Skitty a doop doop.
All
Doop
right.
doop.
But yeah. So moving on to Mission Impossible. Did you see that? That's something you saw, Ron?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I fell asleep. Oh my god, I think I fell
Oh,
asleep twice. I think
oh.
I woke I think I fell asleep, woke up, knew what was going on, still got bored, fell asleep again, woke up, and I was like, wow, I still get what's going on. It's moving that slow. Oh my god, I was bored. I'm a
Honestly, I was going to ask what even piqued your interest because the Mission Impossible franchise has been going on forever. I remember being a kid and my
yeah.
dad was watching Mission Impossible.
Cause here's my thing. Okay. We've all heard the little sound from Mission Impossible, like the
Da,
sound that
da,
little.
da, 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 whatever it is.
Yeah, like that's iconic. We all know that Tom Cruise is like this legendary actor, and I was like, if I have watched Mission Impossible movies, I barely remember them. But it's been a while since the last one. They're saying this is going to be the last one, so I'm assuming it's going to be like great action, great story, and I got AMC stub rewards or whatever it's called. So I got to get my bang for my buck, I need to see like 4 movies a month. So I went to
Right.
watch it. And I fell asleep twice. And y'all
And
know
you
me.
had you a
If
good
I'm
old
not
nap.
enjoying a movie, I'm gonna fall asleep.
It's lights
It's not even
out.
that I try to. It's not even that I try to. It's just
You went to that
oh,
theater to go to sleep.
Mm, basically.
a good nap.
To
Good
use his
nap.
AMC stubs and take a nap.
A
Yeah, I'm just
good.
drinking my
I,
AMC stuff.
I think I was snoring in that thing too. I think my girl had to go like, wake up, you snoring.
You would have
Like
to go.
it was what it was.
That's so funny, Ron. I was
But
definitely gonna ask like what piqued your interest to see Mission Impossible. And I was sitting here, I was like, there's no way that Ryan sat down and watched all of those Mission Impossible movies and was like, yeah, I wanna go see this one.
but you know, sometimes you watch a movie in a series and it be so good that it make you go back and watch the other ones. Like that does happen. And I was like, you know what? This wasn't for me. I'm not the audience for this. The acting, don't get me wrong, it was solid. The storyboarding, I think it was decent. I actually remember the story, but oh my god, the pacing was ass. It
Mhm.
just felt so long. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I do know what's going on, but I don't even want to watch it anymore. Like, just
I think the thing that interests me about the Mission Impossible movies is that Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Like if I was to watch a Mission Impossible movie for anything, it's to just to see the action part and it's like this man really did his own stunts.
Maybe that's the wow factor of why people actually watch the
yeah.
movie, and they don't care about nothing else. They just want to see the stunts. Maybe.
Because I'm not I think that is it. Because I'm not a movie buff. But like, if I was just like a fan or a purist of the art of film, I would think that that's a cool aspect of it. Like this actor really goes hard, and those stunts were cool. It's just as a average fan, a casual movie watcher, I was like, this don't impress me.
I feel
Mm.
you. So let's move into June. So for June, we got Ballerina, How to Train Your
Cinema,
Dragon,
cinema,
He said absolute
K-pop,
cinema.
cinema.
Keep going, keep
K-pop
going.
Demon Hunters, and did F1 come out in June or did F1 come out in
Cinema,
July?
cinema.
Hold on. And F1 the movie came out in June, but we can start with Ballerina though. So unfortunately, Ballerina is being considered a flop because they lost a lot of money.
Oh,
Is
Um,
wow.
it?
Really?
yeah, it is.
I've
I
heard people
saw that
talking so
on
good about it
Twitter.
though. Like even the people that are like
They
Europeans
hard
are
John Wick
ass.
fans.
All of Europeans are
they
ass. I
didn't
don't
they didn't make
care.
they didn't make the money back, but I genuinely enjoyed Ballerina. The way that she was, I was like, this is John Wick Jr. I was like, this would be Black Widow, or like this would be the Red Room if Marvel would push the stakes and let us get a rated R Black Widow movie. My
Mhm.
favorite scene is when she was fighting that man with them skates, and she was I said she's slinging them damn skates.
My
But
favorite
Yeah.
like
scene had to
the
be when they were throwing them
action,
plates at each other.
yes, that her and that lady going back and forth fighting in that restaurant. But the action, they did not hold back. Like a this was truly a John Wick spinoff. Like they weren't kidding when they was like John Wick spinoff Ballerina. Like the action definitely felt like John Wick. The vibe was still there. The I like the fact that the cameo from Keanu Reeves didn't take away from the movie, because you know how you get that big cameo and now the whole movie is centered around this cameo, or like we're only coming to see that cameo. His role in the movie didn't overshadow it at all.
Yeah, yeah, it
I
was
think
minimal, but
I
just
think
enough to be good.
Hmm.
I think his role in the movie maintained the legitimacy of the John Wick universe. Because one of my biggest worries, which is why I'm surprised it failed, because I could have seen this being somebody's issue. One of my biggest worries is that you create this new film in the John Wick franchise, and you create a bigger badass than the badass in the entire franchise. Like, you can't make someone who's better, stronger, faster, a better shooter than the Baba Yaga if this whole franchise is about how the Baba Yaga is this one man army that can go against the entire table.
Correct.
Mhm.
That was one of my biggest fears. Yet this girl, what's her name? I want to say her name. I don't let me disrespect her. She ain't this girl. Eve. Eve came up in here, came through the same channels that John Wick as an orphan, and they went into the background of his own family and how they raised her up. Showed us how she went through her training. And you know what? Shawty came out there as a fresh assassin. You got to protect this chick at this little ice club. Okay, she sees these yakas as dudes.
She got her ass beat that one.
She said, I'm
Mhm.
5'3", about 120 pounds, and I'm finna whoop your ass, Mr. Asian guy. That buddy kicked her with that high kick and threw her across the table. She
Yeah.
got up again. She said, I'm still gonna whoop your ass. Kick the ass across the table again. And I was like,
I was
yeah.
I was looking at Antoine like, I don't know about her.
She might not
I
be
was
that
like, wait.
girl. She might not be that.
I was like, yo, wait a minute, Eve. Like, this is what would happen if a little 5'3", 120-pound girl got in a fight with this dude. But then when she came back, she kept pushing forward, which was a great theme in the movie. She sliced that dude up 20 times because she had to kill him that way. She went in.
I think I
And
like just how creative they were, because the thing they are, when during her training they let her know like, you're not going to be able to take these men down like up front. You're going to have to cheat.
fight
Mhm.
like a girl.
And
So
that's what she did.
I like the fight like a girl thing is always like conflicting to me, because like, what do you mean by that? But I for this movie specifically, I do like how creative she got with like the her surroundings and the environment that she had. Like I said, my one of my favorite scenes was her fighting with them ice skates. And I was like, the way that she was slanging them things, like she wasn't gonna be able to fight this man on this ice. Like you're already at a disadvantage because this dude is huge, and now you on ice. So yeah,
Right.
Yes.
you're gonna have to sling them skates.
And I feel
Yeah.
like that kept it a little believable because John Wick is already an unbelievable franchise. Because, like, how are you just fighting off of sheer anger
How you
and
got a
pushing through
bulletproof?
all this
Yeah, how you
trauma?
got a bulletproof sports coat?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. But like, for example, we got a whole Pokemon battle out of this. We saw Flamethrower against Hydro Pump when
That was
Shotty pulled
good.
out that
That was
fire.
good to
Yeah,
me.
Let's
I
let's
said they out
like,
here bending for real.
yeah, bro, they had a whole Pokemon battle. I'm like, I didn't think you could top the top down view in John Wick chapter 4, chapter 5, whichever.
yeah.
in
Number
chapter
4.
4, and they shooting these dragon fire bullets. I didn't think you could top that. But goddamn it, a Pokemon battle. Let's get it. Let's get it. You got me.
I enjoy Ballerina a lot.
And touching on what y'all really got to, even with Keanu Reeves and his addition, I felt like that was perfect because it's like, yeah, this girl's trained from the same group. Why we heard about her in the other movies? Let's really see what she all about. John Wick came over here and said, "Hey, put the gun down. Let's go home." No, tries to fight him. Put the gun down.
Kept putting her down too. Like,
no!
all right, that'll do, Doc. That'll do.
Please put the gun down. I have a bullet gun to your head.
He didn't even break a sweat. And it didn't feel. So when John Wick showed up, one person may be like, "Oh yeah, we finna get it. Oh yeah," but the fight was so underwhelming. But it was underwhelming because this is John Wick. Like, yeah,
exactly.
And what Ryan was saying, like, we have to keep John Wick as this badass, the badass of the franchise. So even though Eve has been like throwing hands and doing all of this, you still not there yet.
Yeah, they definitely showed that difference in the dynamic.
Like, there's levels to it, Shawty.
That fight was so underwhelming. I was like, this makes sense, but ain't no way you just came from busting bitches with plates and swinging skates, and you can't beat on John Wick.
Look, and even the way that throughout that last part of her mission, because, you know, in the John Wick franchise, almost every movie has this friend from like a long-term assassin. It's like, how do you befriend these folks? But then you see how John comes up to her almost as like a slight mentor, or just I see where you coming from, and I've walked down that path. Let me at least help you or guide you in a way. Yeah. He said, you got till midnight. I'm looking at my watch. You got till midnight.
To handle your business. To handle your business.
In your Pokemon fight, god damn, you losing. Let me shoot that gas tank down on that buddy back. I was like, that's like, it goes more into his character, but it even emphasizes her character more and more. Because basically, this was the plot to John Wick 2, where he's like, at the end, he's on the run from the table, except this time it's her whole family with a $2 million price tag on her back. But
well, that was at the end. That was at the very end when she was watching that performance and she got that whoop whoop on her phone. I said, "Oh yeah, girl, you gonna have to go."
Like honestly, I'm down for a Ballerina sequel, or at the very least, as a John Wick fan, I'm open to more movies in the fan franchise where Keanu Reeves ain't the main character. I'm down for it. Whoever said this ain't cinema, your opinion's ass. I don't care.
They definitely proved that they could make a John Wick spinoff without Keanu, and it can be, despite box office numbers, I enjoyed it. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we got to move on to the next thing. So, Ryan, I know you saw How to Train Your Dragon and F1.
Cinema. Praise dance.
Really? I didn't. Okay.
Have y'all seen either of these?
Which you said How to Train Dragon? Which one?
I heard F1 was really good.
Okay, yeah.
And How to Train Dragon live action.
I haven't seen either one,
animated one. So.
Okay, I don't even know. I'm gonna be real. I binge watched all the How to Train Dragon animated films before this. And funny enough, out of all the times I've rejected Ralph and Phoop's recommendations for like these modern day Pixar and DreamWorks movies that ain't continuations of the ones I loved, I was like, you know what? This might be the one that I'm gonna just go back because I got the AMC stuff list. Might as well. Let me just binge watch these animated films. First one hooked me. Second one hooked me. Third one hooked me. This is the shit. I like How to Train a Dragon. I vibe with it.
I do like the animated movies. I didn't know how this one played out in live action. I haven't really heard anything about it, but now that you're saying this, it kind of piques my interest a bit because I was thinking about watching it, and I was like,
The dragons being live action adapted looked beautiful. The way they did Brick Fells, I forgot the name of the mountain they live on, looked beautiful. Even the characters, pretty good depictions of their animated characters. They took 2 to 3 creative freedoms, but they actually added to the story. They didn't take away from it in the least bit. They actually added to it, and it felt beautiful. I walked out of there, I was like, I seen something great. I'm looking forward to them making a sequel to the live action, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And now, was I the only black person in that room? Probably. In fact, I looked around. I think I was. But my niggas, y'all need to go out and watch How to Train
my
a Dragon. It's
God.
good.
It's getting
It's good.
serious. It's getting
Well, you heard it
serioso.
here,
It's
folks.
getting
You heard it here, folks.
serious.
Y'all need to go watch How to Train Your Dragon. So what about
After that,
F1?
F1, I had no expectations. I love Brad Pitt only because of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and in real life, I'm a fan of Angelina Jolie. Had no expectations for F1. Not Idris Elba, Dansum Idris. I haven't watched most of his films or shows either, although I've seen him coming up in the film and TV world. And honestly, they made magic. I ain't never watched the F1 race. I ain't never watched NASCAR, but let me tell y'all something. The day after F1, I'm over here looking up F1 tickets because they're going to be in like Austin, Texas in a month. They $200 some so I ain't going. But let me tell you something. I ain't never been that interested in racing. The way they explained F1 and actually made it like understandable and easily digestible for someone who doesn't really understand that sport in general. The way they created the plot, the tension between Brad Pitt and Dansum Idris's characters, and the way that tied into the story, it was fun. It was
Is
really fun.
this
It's
like
like the same.
does the movie kind of like explain how F1 started, or is it just about F1?
F1 already exists at this point. Like, it doesn't
Okay.
go into like the origins of F1.
Okay.
If anything, it does the origins of the characters, and like Brad Pitt's character. They talk about his love for racing and why basically he's this failure. Could have been hero. And then you look at Dansum Idris, arrogant young dude who's very talented, and you see this old head. Well, you ain't want to race. How you going to give me input? But this old head actually knows a lot, and
Mhm.
we see their relationship build. It feels natural in terms of how they go from like fu to, you know what, I got respect for you. You're still a butthole, but I respect you. And they get
Mhm.
cool at the end. I loved every second of it. I
I
was
pl-
on the edge of my seat.
mm. I plan to watch
Go
that.
watch it, Antoine.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah, I heard it was really good because I like Ryan. I'm not a the racing movies. They don't grab me for real. Like
Mhm.
Gran Turismo looked like it had a decent plot, but I was like, I don't think I'm really gonna watch this.
I,
Or
yeah,
4V Ferrari with Christian Bale and the other
I
guy. I was
missed
like,
that one.
and I was like,
But
this
I
looks
like the
like it had
Ferrari
like art.
movie though. That one was good
And
to me.
I was like, this looks like it might have a good plot, but the racing movies never like really get me. I guess those type of racing movies, because I feel like there's a contradiction here because Fast and the Furious is our racing movie, but that's
You
but
gotta
that's
make
a
that
different.
distinction.
Those
You
are
got
those
Cause
are different. Those are different type of racing movies.
yeah,
These seem more like sophisticated, focused in like the history. These are like for car fanatics, racing
exactly.
fanatics, and things like that. And I've just never been interested. I like to see big flashy cars, speed, Nas. I wonder if
106
you know.
folks.
Have you
Have you
ever
seen
seen
Tokyo? If you mean it, then you need it. Then you know you have to go. Fast and
like
Furious.
that's like that's what gets me. Like
Yeah, that get me lit. That get me lit. but
okay.
but yeah, it goes into the racing. Don't get me wrong, but it's like the story is just really good. The characters are just real, like they really pull you in and get you immersed in the world. There's even like some stuff going on in the background with like some politics and stuff that play a huge part. Like you don't fall in love with the cars per se or just the world of F1. You fall in love with the characters in this movie. And I think that's probably the biggest difference between it and other racing movies. Honestly, more akin to early Fast and Furious. Racing was there, but you really fall in love with family. There we go.
Family.
Family.
You're missing one thing, Ryan. What? I got family with me.
Drinks Corona, play some Latin dance hall music in the background, and now we lit. There
God,
we go.
God's Charger flies over the house.
Look, we finna have Autobots and Decepticons in the next Fast and Furious.
Oh man. Um, I'm not gonna talk too much about K-pop Demon Hunters again because y'all already know how. But I do want to say this though. That they've been hitting the charts.
They have.
They just
Mhm.
the Huntrix group from K-pop Demon Hunters has reached #1 on the Billboard charts, which hasn't been done in 24 years, and was done by Destiny's Child when they released Bootylicious. And they released Bootylicious, I think, like early 2000s. 90s, somewhere late 90s, early 2000s. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. They're doing a theatrical release for that junk. I'm not going to see that because that's capitalism to the supermax. But Netflix needs to go ahead and greenlight the sequel. They talking about they're considering a trilogy. Stop considering and put that junk in stone. I'm not playing.
Start doing.
Stop considering and start doing, because this is nuts. It's the second most watched animated movie on Netflix. It's been in the top. The movie came out June 20th. It is August 13th. It's still in the top 10 of Netflix movies.
I'm gonna be real.
The songs are charting. They finna put the hoe in theaters. Just go ahead and greenlight it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be real. I've heard some of the songs. They're fire.
I know it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I was on vacation about a weekend ago, and some of the kids, them little Gen Alpha kids, I walked into their cabin. They was playing the music videos, and I was like,
"Yeah, they boxed."
I don't think I heard this one.
They boxed,
and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. I'm at some point I am gonna watch it. I might even wait for it to be in theaters and watch it because my AMC Stubs list passed. I just might to give it the.
You don't, Ryan. I'm being for real. I'm so serious. I 100% support you watching K-pop Demon Hunters. I will even come watch it with you. But I am telling you right now, do not go to that theatrical event. That is a sing-along event. You're going to be in there with a bunch of kids and adults singing the songs, and you're not going to be able to enjoy the movie the way I want you to enjoy the movie.
Okay, because that's how they was in the cabin. We started playing High School Musical old songs and stuff too.
But you saw the difference is you saw High School Musical on your own and enjoyed it for yourself, and then started started singing it.
I gotta watch it on my own first, and then be able to be a part of it. Gotcha.
Not go to that movie theater if this is your first time seeing K-pop Demon Hunters, unless you're a parent and you have to take your kids. If your daughter, your son, group of daughters, group of sons and daughters ask you to take you to that movie, you better take them to go see that movie.
I ain't one of them yet. You ain't became a godparent yet.
I said unless you're a parent, and I was talking to the audience.
Okay, you ain't say that because I'm like, when did I make you a godmama? Because you got to be for one kid.
You see how we get off topic? Actually, you knew I wasn't talking to him, correct?
I knew what you was talking about, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because you just take stuff.
What's gonna be your godmama name? Because I don't think you want to be called Auntie.
All right, we need to move on to the next movie. But I do want you to watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
I will.
That is a really good movie. It jumped into my top 5 comfort movies.
I will. And how many times have you seen it at this point?
Probably 11. Because let me tell you about how a good friend Antoine. I'm gonna tell this quick story. I'm gonna tell this quick story, and whoever saw Jurassic World got to say what they got to say about Jurassic World, and then we got to move on. But this is how Antoine is a good friend. So a couple weeks ago, I went to Antoine's house, and we played Mario Kart, and we played another game. And I think I was on TikTok or something. Somehow K-pop Demon Hunters came up. And I was like, Antoine, can I watch K-pop Demon Hunters at your house? And he was like, you know what? Yeah. Hell yeah. And we sat there and ate Wingstop and watched K-pop Demon Hunters.
We had a good old time.
We had a good old time. We had commentary. We sung the songs. It was great. The vibes were there.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad y'all had that together. I'm glad y'all was able to do that.
That is grade A friendship, because he easily could have told me, no, this is my house.
It's time to wrap it up, go home.
He was like, get out. You've overstayed your welcome.
He could have hit that sentence on me. I'm going to make you go home.
Okay. I'm happy for y'all.
Who saw Jurassic World? My dad said it was boring.
Absolute ass.
I was about to watch that this past
Oh,
weekend.
I don't know why you want to waste your money, and I don't know why y'all
That
laughing.
was gonna be for free.
It was.
It was
it was.
It's not even worth watching for free. Jurassic World Rebirth was trash.
But my thing
uh,
is, you have a certain way that you say you don't like movies, and I wasn't expecting you to come out and say absolutely ass.
Absolutely ass. I'm looking at the ratings for this. I'm like, I don't see how it got a 6 on IMDb. There was nothing there. Like, okay, let me explain myself. Even if you just want a basic dinosaur movie that gives you jump scares, they ain't even do that. They ain't even do that. I'm probably peeking. They ain't even eat nobody for real. The villain wasn't even villaining. Ain't nobody get ate up. That big 4-headed ass mutant dinosaur only showed up for about 2 minutes on the screen, and then we ain't even see it no more.
Damn.
There was no threats. There was nothing fun. They got rid of what's his name from the Marvel film with the raccoon, the white guy who was in one of the MCs in the previous Jurassic World movies.
The MC. You talking about Chris Pratt? Oh yeah,
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Him and old girl who was basically co-stars. Like the ratings for the Jurassic World movies basically started to go down. They never amounted to what the first one did. This one was even worse because I rewatched all of them up till this point, and it was absolute ass. We ain't really seen it wasn't no jump scares. The dinosaurs didn't dinosaur. It didn't give what it was supposed to give. The characters were boring. They honestly, you hate the characters, but it's not that you enjoy hating them. Like, Hisoka, you enjoy hating Hisoka. I hate these characters because I'm like, who wrote this MF? No, like this felt like somebody who's in high school film school was told to write their fan fiction of a random Jurassic World movie, and it got greenlit. I'm surprised it made the money it did. I think that's just off of branding because Jurassic Park and Jurassic World are big brands.
Yeah, it's
but it
definitely
was trash.
Yeah. Damn.
Well,
it was
you heard it
trash.
here
Well,
first.
at least we didn't go see that, Antoine.
I won't be wasting my time. You ain't gotta tell me twice.
No.
Absolutely ass.
Like there are some movies that ain't just for me, you know what I'm saying? And I can admit that this was I went to work talking about how trash this was, and somebody else said it was trash before I could. They was like, "Did y'all see Jurassic World?" Someone said, "Oh, it was bad." I was like, "Yeah, trash." Oh, I'm in
good.
corporate.
We agree.
It was not good.
But let's move on to the most recent movie that came out is Weapons, and I know Antoine. Honestly, Antoine, you could have did a solo review for this one. We might.
It's recent enough.
Yeah, I mean, like a little score sheet and shit.
Yeah.
So you say your little one too, and we gonna plan that out. You gonna do it, but yeah,
that's cool. So Weapons was good overall. I would say as me, a person that definitely enjoys like horror movies, I was excited to see something that was getting such good ratings. I think it had like 98%, or something like that. I don't remember, but it was high. And I was like, oh, okay, good. So I went and watched that this past weekend. I would say the concept, the story, the plot, the characters, they were all good to me. I'm gonna say my overall rating, but it definitely gave the horror movie trope where you're gonna hate some characters because they're doing stupid things. It had a bit of comedy in there, but not too much. In the whole movie though, it wasn't like really scary. It probably had only like 2 jump scares in it, the whole movie, honestly, and even those weren't really that bad. Um, it was more of the movie is considered to be a horror mystery. It was more of a mystery for me because I think that the entire time I was watching that movie, I was really like on the edge of my seat to see like why is this lady doing this? What's her purpose? What's her goal? Like I could not wait to see what was going on. And the only gripe that I have for the movie, for me personally, and other people might not agree with this, but I feel like at the end it was kind of just wrapped up really abruptly. Um, like
Okay.
the main villain person, she definitely got what she deserved, but after that, it was more instead of them showing kind of, I guess what like anything after that, it was more like a voiceover of here's what happens. The city found out, blah 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 blah. That's the end. Y'all get up and get out of this movie theater. And that part,
got
I
it.
was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, like they tell us what happens, but I guess I wanted to see it. You know, because I think for horror movies, I love when people come to the realization of what was actually going on. That's like the best moment for me. So we didn't really get that,
So it was,
but
so it gave you more suspense and thrill than actual fear,
it, yeah,
essentially.
it definitely, yeah, I would definitely say that it wasn't like scary, scary. It wasn't like, I mean, it was spooky in in some moments because you don't know what was going on. Like I was formulating theories of why the person was doing what she was doing. And I was like, it must be something demonic. She's probably trying to worship these folks to the devil or something like that. And we never got the overall purpose, other than the title of the movie, which is Weapons. But why are you doing this? What's the goal? What once you get all these people, then what? What are we doing? And I didn't get that from
I
that.
might, I might check this out, Antoine.
It's a
I
good
might
movie. I
check this out.
definitely
I didn't even know
recommend it.
about this movie.
I definitely recommend it.
Okay,
That's like a small um gripe for me. But overall, I definitely recommend it. Go watch it. Yeah.
I might go
Okay.
see that. I might go see that. Okay.
So, all right, guys. So we made it to the end of our opinions on the previously released movies. If you made it this far, and have been enjoying the conversation, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like a video, leave a comment of how you're feeling so far. So we do have like 24 minutes left. Do you guys want to keep with the movie talk and go into recommendations, and then um, we'll do something else for TV shows, or do we want to continue with previously released stuff and do the previously released TV shows and then do the upcoming stuff?
We can do previously released TV shows. At least I don't have much to say, so I don't think expect to go long with that.
Okay.
Cause I've been mostly watching anime. When it comes to series, I did watch You season 5. I enjoyed it. It was solid. I think it wrapped up the story nicely. Like honestly, I can't even say I just lightly enjoyed it. I think I strongly enjoyed it. I felt like for a good end game to this series and the way they did the callbacks to the other characters who were victims of Joe Goldberg and how they kind of linked up. Then you got old girl being played, and it's like, yeah, I'm not a victim. You don't know Joe and how she really got wrapped between his fingers, really going into that psychological, manipulative stuff that he's good at. I thought
Mm-hmm.
this season was fire. I enjoyed every
Yeah.
episode. Every day it released, it didn't obviously it released at one point on Netflix, but I binge watched it. I was hooked on it.
So would
Okay.
you say
I'll check
this
that out.
was one of the better seasons? Because whichever was that love after season two, I kind of fell off with you.
Yeah, season 3, that was the one where it was the girl who was also a murderer, right? And it
I
was
thought
a
that was
weaker.
season. I thought that was season two. Was that season three? Was love?
I think Love comes in on season 2, and let me look at season 3 on IMDb. Is that
Oh,
when
you know
he?
what? Love is season two, and then season three is them being like married, right?
Yeah, and they being together. He has to cut the finger
Okay.
off and escape to Europe,
Okay. Yeah.
and then
So after
force him
season,
actually in Europe.
so yeah, after season three, that's where I fell off.
Yeah, because 4 was when he was with that rich family, and it was like on some Clue stuff. Like it was cool. Wasn't the best. I feel like after season 1 and 2, they kind of had to find ways to keep it going. But season 5, a lot of people usually f up the ending. This was actually good. So like if you
Okay.
were to start back up you and push yourself through 3 or 4, like if you don't hate it and can keep going, you'll feel very rewarded by season 5.
Okay. So getting into Ironheart, Antoine, did you finish Ironheart?
Yeah, I did.
How'd
Um,
you feel about it?
I'm not. It wasn't just like the bee's knees. It wasn't just like a really great show or anything like that to me. It was decent. It was solid. I wasn't mad at it. She's definitely going through her own trials and tribulations. As a young black female growing up, well, not growing up, but living in Chicago, trying to accomplish her dreams. And the world is kind of limiting, well, her environment is kind of limiting her. So it's definitely a good take on it, but it didn't really grab and pull me in. Like I fell off of it after I got to like episode 3. I kind of fell off of it for a minute, but then I was like, oh yeah, let me go finish this because I didn't want to just. Not finished, but
No,
it's solid overall. I'm not
Okay.
mad at it. It
I
did not
agree.
deserve the
It's
hate that the
not
people gave it for absolutely no
fair.
reason. I'm gonna say that.
And I'm gonna get into this real quick. Like it always happens and it always pisses me off where people were review bombing the show before the show even came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hate when y'all do that. And that pissed me off because, like Antoine said, no, it wasn't the best MCU show, but it was still good.
Mhm.
And y'all didn't
Yeah.
y'all not even given a chance because it's a black main character, a black female main character, and y'all shitting on the show before it even came out. Disney was barely promoting the motherfucker to begin with,
That's what
and
I'm
then they
saying.
did the series, and then they did the series in 2 weeks. The first week was the first 3 episodes, and the second week was the next 3 episodes. So it's already getting bad fucking promo.
Hmm.
And then on top of it, you got people review bombing it, woke go broke crowd,
Hmm.
bringing down the ratings on
For
it.
Yeah.
what? For what? That was
So
absolutely no
like,
reason for people to hate that show as much. For them to try to hate a show that they hadn't even watched or given a chance as much as they did. That was.
Yeah.
but that's what they do, and that's what I said. Like, this is not the first time they have it. They did it with the Star Wars, the Acolyte series. But I agree with Antoine. Like I said, it's not the best MCU show, but it's certainly not the worst. I like Riri Williams as a
Hmm.
character. I like
I
getting
think
her
she did her.
backstory. I like seeing the um how she's trying to do like her Iron Man thing, but like from a different, like her environment. Like,
Hmm.
what does that
Yeah.
look like? And I appreciated that. And the Mephisto thing was pretty cool too. Like learning about the hood and the Mephisto backstory, and
That was
now
good.
in the way that they ended the season, with her making the deal with Mephisto. Sorry, spoilers, but we've been spoiling the whole thing. Whatever. I forgot to say this at the beginning of this episode too. So fuck it. But I I would like her to get a season 2, or at least I would like to see her as we move forward in the MCU for her
Yes.
to come back, because I
Most
thought
definitely.
we were getting, or at least they hinted to the fact that we're getting Young Avengers, and she is a member
Gotcha.
of that team.
I would love to see
Or
her
if
I
they
was
do
gonna
partner
champ,
with
ask.
or if
other
they do
heroes.
yeah, if they do champions, she's also a part of that team. So I really want to see her come back, and I hope that, given like the hate and things like that, the MCU just doesn't make this a one and done MCU series.
I was gonna ask. Did y'all like it enough to where you would enjoy it? So you would prefer second season, or do you feel like it was a good one and done type of thing?
I wouldn't be mad if they did a
The
second
way that they
season. Like,
the way exactly the way that they left off on season 1 is like, it gives them a reason to do a
hmm.
season 2.
Hmm.
But
Gotcha.
I also wouldn't be upset if they continue her story through a different medium like Young Avengers, or if somehow she's going to be involved in Secret Wars or something, and the consequences of what she did at the end of the season come to fruition with what they got going on.
Yeah,
Or
it was a
even
good
if we
setup.
come back in the right, or even if we come back in the Mutant Saga, and that's where we start getting real Young Avengers type shit alongside the X-Men, and then they bring her back. But I don't want to see her character dropped off and
Okay.
not revisited.
Need to leave that girl alone.
Okay. Gotcha.
Let her do her.
And shout out to Robert Downey Jr., because he was being hella supportive, because Ironheart, despite how the MCU has shaped it to seem like Spider-Man is Iron Man's protege, it's really Ironheart. Comic book accurate wise, Ironheart is Iron Man's protege. And shout out to Robert Downey Jr. for giving her that support through all of the promo and stuff. Cause
Nice.
that's Iron Man's prodigy, not
People
Spider Man.
do not want to see that. Y'all got to stop.
Did they emphasize that in the series? Like, did we get any like Robert Downey Jr. like cameos or anything, or like reference
No.
points?
What
Okay.
they referenced him. They referenced
Mhm.
him. So this is me going back to the fact of that she's trying to do her Iron Man shit. but because of
Mm-hmm.
the environment she's in, what does that look like? So she has the smarts of Iron Man. They can do the same thing, but she doesn't have the resources as Tony Stark. She doesn't have the
Mhm.
money as Tony Stark. She doesn't
Right.
have she's not a rich white man. She's a young
Right.
black woman living in Chicago trying to build an Iron Man suit. And this series shows what that looks like and what she has to do the things that Tony Stark had to do.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So they referenced him
Yeah.
because they're trying to do like the same thing. Oh, you're trying to build an iron suit. He built the iron suit. You know,
Mhm.
Right.
you're at MIT. He went to MIT. You know, there's
Mhm.
things like that.
And she got the whole Iron Man
Okay.
scholarship and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah.
So
Okay.
um, moving on to the Last of Us season 2. I thought that was solid. Now, I haven't played the game, but I was in the community with the people who played the game and they were watching the show, and they weren't happy with the way that certain things went. And I don't. This season was not as good as the first one to me. It was still solid, but it was not as good as the first season to me. And now they're splitting up the second game into maybe I think they said they're gonna do like two more seasons, and then in the next season it's gonna be focused on the other protagonist antagonist of the second Abby, um, and it's not going to be a lot of what's her name, Ellie, the little girl in it. And I was kind of like, nah. Now I'm kind of losing interest because I don't really care about me personally, and this is just me coming from the fact that I didn't play the game. Like I
Right.
know, like her whole deal. Because the other thing that they said that they switched it up, there's a plot twist. Like the way that certain events went in the second season are done a little bit differently than how they're in the game. And the big reveal that happened in the game that made you question like the whole motive was put in the beginning of the second season. So I was like, now that I know this information, I don't think I really want to see a third season with just this one person.
Yeah. I
Okay.
was supposed to watch that and I just haven't. It'll one of these days. But I'm in no rush.
It's solid, but I definitely because me and Antoine did an all nighter and watched the first season. The first season was damn good.
Yeah, it was
Like
good.
I was watching like, damn, why did I drop this when it first came out? But I enjoyed the first season more than I did the second season.
Nice. That, Last of Us was not one of those things that grabbed me because I also just never played the series. But I'm glad that there's something out there for y'all, for the fans.
You saying y'all? I just watched TV show. I ain't playing no games. I watched Galvin play a little bit of the game.
Yeah,
I bought
that's
the game. Now watching King play that game was the funniest shit. That shit was so funny.
yeah. I was mad I didn't get to see
Okay.
that more because I had to leave. But yeah,
That was a good time. I bought the game because I wanted him to play it, and that was fun. That was a fun time watching him play that shit. But
Yeah.
all right, we got about 20 minutes left. I think we could run through the recommendations in the currently watching stuff right quick. So, Eyes of Wakanda. I watched the first episode. I think it's pretty cool. I like it's a and isn't it called anthology when like we go back in time and see like different, or is that anthropology?
I'm about to say you got a good college vocabulary, food, because
Mhm.
I don't. Oh, you so I ain't used before. Like, look at you put that degree to work. You know, my best friend got a
Okay,
master's.
okay, it's anthology where they said an anthology series is a television or radio series, collection of films, blah, 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 where each episode or segment presents a new self contained story with different characters. And I think this is what
Mm-hmm.
Eyes of Wakanda is because I watched the first episode and I watched a little bit of the second episode, and it's not focused on the same person. It's all
Right.
related to Wakanda and like different air in different time periods. Um, but I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't think I would like it because I don't think I'm a big fan of anthology series, but I think but because of the information that I have on Black Panther and Wakanda, I have found it interesting to see like how the Dora Milaje were how they function in different time periods. They still continue to talk about like the spies or the operatives that they send out into the outside world and things like that. So they're showing like how what different people were doing in the outside world. Some people were doing fuck shit. Some people were doing what they were supposed to do. So I thought it was pretty cool. I like the animation too. It kind of
It is. It's
it
really
feels
artistic to me.
it feels historic. It feels like I'm getting a history lesson. Like those the only way that I can describe it to is that it feels like religious cartoons. And it's that's not an insult. It feels very like biblical. Like when you saw like those off the cuff biblical stories
You're
This
not
shit is
in
talking
the
wrong.
about
2D.
Veggie Tales, ain't it?
You.
I'm trying not to talk about Veggie Tales, but the but the off the cuff religious animated stories, that's what the animation feels like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'm really digging like the vibe. And like Antoine said, it is very colorful and vibrant. Um I'm gonna finish out the rest and do a mob review on it, but I've been digging it so far. Alien Earth, I haven't started that yet, but that was probably should have put that down in recommendations. I thought I was gonna watch it before the recording. I forgot. So here we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for it.
And
I
then
hope they really tied it well. I hope that I don't know if it's gonna be super tied into the other movies. Probably not too much, honestly. We just really got a time period on when it takes place, and that's kind of all I know
mhm.
right now. I plan to watch that too. I hope it's really good because I love Alien.
It's got good reviews.
Nobody watching King of the Hill Shippuden? I've seen that
Not
going viral.
Shippuden.
Oh, the King of the Hill reboot.
Mm-hmm. King of the Hill Shippuden.
Not
I didn't watch.
Shippuden.
I didn't watch the. I didn't
That
watch
really
the
got you,
original
Antoine.
King of the Hill.
Bobby.
So no, Bobby, Bobby. But
Nah.
I know
No.
me and Antoine we binge watched the first part of Wednesday season 2. So now that you slept on it for a couple days, Antoine, how do you feel about that?
I think Wednesday's been pretty good. I was definitely worried that I wouldn't be into it, like after watching season one and it being just a time gap, because I was like, I haven't watched that in a while, and I didn't remember like how thoroughly I enjoyed it season one. But coming back into season two, I was like, oh, okay, I remember this was a good show. I'm enjoying it.
They give you a nice little recap. They give you a
They
nice
did.
little recap because
And I
I was
needed
showing
that.
like
Yeah.
I kind of don't remember what happened in season
Yeah,
one.
I needed
They give
that
you a
definitely.
nice little recap.
Yeah, I'm excited for part
But now
two.
I've been enjoying it. Same. I've been seeing some complaints about they have a lot of plot lines running around, and I would agree. They got the zombie plot line, the avian plot line, the whatchamacallit mama plot line, and then there's a fourth thing that they were talking about. I guess the main plot line going around. And I was like, that's fair. There is a lot of like strings coming
Hmm.
out of this. But I think they'll be able to wrap it all up in
Yeah.
part two. So I'm
Yeah,
looking forward
I
to it.
wasn't mad at it, honestly.
Right.
It was they were definitely focusing on different parts of the episode. They were definitely focusing on different storylines, but I don't think it was in a bad way, honestly. I feel like it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's just making people nervous because having multiple plot lines and trying to wrap them all up doesn't always end well. Either something ends weird or something gets forgotten or something gets wrapped up in a way that was like, why would y'all wrap this up like this?
Hmm. What
So
was the
I get
reason?
the anxiety, but I guess we'll just have to wait until part 2. Okay. But there was a pause, so I thought Antoine had more to say. but he did
No,
not.
he said,
I swear, I swear,
he
I
said,
thought,
you got it, friend.
I swear, I
brother.
thought he opened his mouth to say something. So I sat here and I was like, "Oh, this silence is going on a little bit
Look,
too."
she was like, one
No.
Mississippi, two
New
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Oh,
Is this what we're doing here?
I guess he's not saying shit. Okay,
No, that was not really
we're
too much
going.
to say about it. It was good.
So we got 5 minutes left. I thought we were gonna go over, but we did a really good job with the time. But to going into upcoming movies and TV shows that I know I'm going to be things that we had on our list. And of course, we'll do mock reviews and checkups on how everything is going on. We got The Mighty Nine, which is another Critical Role series akin to The Legend of Vox Machina, coming to Amazon Prime November 19th. Percy Jackson and the Olympians season 2 is coming to Disney Plus December 10th. Stranger Things, the final season, part 1 starts November 26th. Part 2 starts December 25th, and then the finale drops December 31st. Going into movies, Tron Ares drops October 10th. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the third installment in the Now You See Me franchise, drops November 14th. Wicked for Good, the second part of the Wicked franchise, drops November 21st. And then Five Nights at Freddy's 2 drops December 5th, 2025. So, did I
Gotcha.
miss anything on this list, my boys?
I'm excited for Rick and Morty season 8. Technically, it started dropping on May 25th, 2025, but only on Adult Swim. I ain't got cable. But it do drop on HBO Max on September 1st, 2025. So that's when I'm going to be binge watching it to see how I feel.
Okay. What about you, Antoine?
No, I can think of.
Okay.
But to add to what you're talking about, the Vox Machina spinoff, it caught my eyes. It did catch my eye. I'm interested to see like how they keep it interesting. I almost feel like I need to rewatch Vox Machina in preparation for whenever the next season drops.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when the last season was released, there was so much airing, and it was just hard for me to prioritize and keep up with it. Like I think I was late on catching up
you
with
was late on catching up, but even the catch up is fair because I think we might have gotten that 2024.
Yeah.
And the next season comes out 2026. So yeah, there's definitely some refreshing to do. I'm looking
Exactly.
forward to Percy Jackson. I'm looking forward to Now You See Me because those movies were always an interesting concept to me.
Well, Percy Jackson's a TV series, right? Or are they doing a new movie reboot?
Percy Jackson is a TV series. They dropped the first season 2023.
Okay. Because you was like those movies were always good to me, and I was like, wait, I
I
thought
was
one was a
talking
series.
about now. I was talking about Now You See Me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one
We on
too.
the same page now?
Same page, page 53, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
page 53. Got
Full
it.
Pirates. I'm also looking forward to Now You See Me. I just rewatched the older movies in preparation for this one, and I was like, oh, I wonder why. Like, I think I remember enjoying them when I was younger, but I was like, oh, rewatching them in full really gave me a higher appreciation for the
Those
series and the
movies are
Yeah,
franchise.
I
good. The way they do those
I
tricks
rewatched
and
the second
stuff.
one recently.
Yeah, them little magic thieves. I was like, okay, let's see what y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
And that Tron Ares movie, I don't remember the last one that came out in like 2014, and then there was another one that was like I guess early 2000s, late 1900s.
No
I
telling.
barely remember. I might go rewatch the old ones if they're available anywhere, but it looked cool and cool enough for me to be like, I'm gonna watch it on my AMC Stubbs Pass and see how I feel.
Is this supposed to be like? If you
Yeah.
guys know, this
The
is supposed to be like
trailer's
a
cool though. The
reboot.
trailer with the music and shit.
You guys know if it's supposed to be a
Is
reboot
Tron a reboot?
or is this like a continuation type thing?
It might be a soft reboot. From when I looked into it, each one technically is kind of like the second one even was kind of a continuation from the first one, but it's probably more so a soft reboot. Like anybody who ain't seen the other two is probably going to be able to keep up with the story because they're going to give you enough flashbacks to where you don't need to see the previous stuff. That's
Be
what I'm
nice.
expecting at least.
That'd be nice. Yeah, the trailer did look good though. I've never had any interest in watching any Tron movies, but that made me want to go. The trailers made me want to go see this. When he split that car
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
halfway,
Y'all gonna have to let me know about that.
Yeah,
We'll
that was
see.
fire.
I
It was
definitely
fire,
know about
food.
that one.
Have you seen the ads?
Yeah, I said the trailer looked cool with the music and shit.
But it's not cool enough for you to go watch it.
No.
Aww.
Partly because Jared Leto's in it.
Got it.
That is a little bit of the reason why I don't want to see it.
I want to ask what Jared Leto did, but I'll do that off camera because I don't be knowing some of these actors.
Joker, and he was in that Morbius movie.
Okay.
But definitely excited for Wicked for Good and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. They said it's supposed to be more scarier than the first one. So let's hope, because I really like the lore, the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. So I hope they give me some jump scares, because they gave me one jump scare in that first movie and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. So we ran out of time. I'm surprised we covered all this stuff, because we were getting towards like 52 minutes and we were still talking about release movies, and I was like,
we had to get the stuff we was hype about off. We had to get that off.
I feel you, but I thought we was getting too much off and we weren't gonna make it. But
she said, whoa.
Right. But let's go ahead and shut this down. So once again, thank you, Ryun and Antoine, for joining me on another episode of the Blur Mob Podcast. Thanks to everybody who tuned in to the full episode, whether this is your first time or 50th time checking us out. It is always appreciated. If you enjoyed this recap episode and want to be notified for when we release more content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave us a comment and let us know how you felt about the discussion. Also, make sure to follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram at the Blur Mob Pod. We're on Twitter at the Blur Mob, and you can find us on Facebook and TikTok at the Blur Mob Podcast. With all that being said, this is the Mob checking out. Peace.
Then I saw You season 5 now. I gotta go back and finish season 4 and see what the hell he been doing.
That is this season 5.
Yeah, that's coming out in April.
You was on my list. I forgot about you.
It kind of lost me a while ago.